Friday. What time is it? Oh, it's 5:15, a little late in the afternoon. I'm going upstairs for supper soon at my daughter's place. My other daughter's coming down too. So we're going to set up there tonight and have something to eat. Anyway, it's movie time. What movies did I watch this week? Yes, so we're about to start with, let me see, here we go. We'll talk about the movies that I watched this week. I watched the movie Ladies They Talk About with Barbara Stanwyck from 1933. Saw it on TCM. Barbara Stanwyck's with a bunch of bank robbers. She's in the bank and she happens to get caught. She has to go to jail. And there's other guy that's interested in her, the district attorney, and he's trying to do things right by her because I think he likes her. But anyway, it's all about being in jail and all the girls in jail with her, stuff like that, and things that happen while she's in jail. Now, it's a good movie. I'm not going to tell you too much about these movies because it takes too long, the videos, but so I watched Ladies They Talk About with Barbara Stanwyck, 1933. And Barbara Stanwyck's always a dish. Every movie she makes, she looks lovely in it. So that's Ladies They Talk About. And I give that a 7. It's a decent movie. You can watch it. All right. The other one I watched on Rogers, this is Rogers, Superfly, 2018. I don't know, this movie's not, I didn't really like it. I wasn't crazy over it. All about drugs and deals and a bunch of black guys running around in white clothes standing outside their mansion with machine guns and stuff like that. And then one guy, young guy, makes a deal with the cartel and stuff like that and tries to get drugs. It goes over top of another guy to make lots of money and stuff like that. I watched it thinking that, you know, as any other movie, let's see what happens here. So I watched it, basically a waste of my time. I give it about a 5 out of 10, so really don't bother with this one. If you're thinking about it, don't bother. That's my opinion now, people, just my opinion. And I watched on Rogers also, The Man Who Invented Christmas, 2017. It's all about Charles Dickens and the people that are, you know, around his life and people that he knows and things that he sees and how he goes about writing the Christmas story. Yes. So I thought that was a very interesting movie. I really liked that one, The Man Who Invented Christmas. So I give that a good 7. That's a really good movie. You can watch that one, no problem. If you haven't seen it, watch it. You'll like it. What's the other one? Oh yeah, Make Way for Tomorrow, 1937. Now, this movie, 5 minutes into it, you start bawling your eyes out. And all the rest for the next, what, an hour and a half, 2 hours, whatever, all you do is just continue bawling. Get the Kleenex out. It's a sad goddamn movie. That's all I can say. I saw this movie numerous times. I have this movie over there in my collection in those little black boxes at the bottom there in the shelf over there. I'll show you them one day. But anyway, I saw it coming on TV and I recorded it, so I watched it. Yeah, and I remember, yeah, Bob, this was a real sad movie. It's all about the Depression days and the two older people that are in their house. The bank closes on them, tells them to get out. They have to go live with their kids. I think they got 4 or 5 kids. Anyway, they're separated. One has to go live with the daughter. The other one has to go live with her son. The mother lives with her son. The father goes off and lives with his daughter. And when you're that old as they are, it's terrible to be broken up, to be alone from each other, right? Because they've been together for what, 40, 50 years or something like that. So when you watch this movie, be prepared to bawl your eyes out. So I give that one an 8. Make Way for Tomorrow, 1937. Is that it for this page? Yeah, I guess so. All right, let's put that over here. And I watched, what is it? Gerarda or Gedra? The three-headed monster, 1965. So yeah, there's this three-headed monster running around in Japan, right? Blowing things up and stuff. Of course, it's dubbed with, American actors or people speaking in Japanese parts and stuff like that. I remember going to a show years ago in the 60s and seeing a bunch of these movies. I never saw the original Godzilla, of course. I was a little bit too young for that. But some of these crazy movies that were out in the 60s about Mothra and Godzilla and whatever else. I remember seeing some of them at the downtown show here in Toronto. So Ghidorah, the three-headed monster, that's hilarious. And the special effects, the little towns, the villages, and the little rubber trucks and tanks, and it's hilarious. What's that? How do you say it? I wouldn't call it so bad, but it's like, it's a good movie. It's a fun thing to watch. Put it that way. Don't expect anything other than it's a fun watch. Most of them are. Some of them are not that well. But anyway, I watched that. I thought that was fun, so I give it a 6. Ghidorah, the three-headed monster. Ghidorah, something like that. Anyway, I watched that. That's on here. This is on my set of movies I recorded years ago. And I also watched Godzilla versus the Monster Zero. Now this one's bad. It's got Nick Adams in it. I think he was in, he was in a few movies, and what is it, The Rebel or something like that on TV? Johnny Yuma or The Rebel or something like that on the TV show. Anyway, this was made in, 66, I think it was, but probably wasn't released here in Canada or United States or something like that to 68. And by then, Nick Adams passed away, I'm pretty sure. Don't forget, now you can all correct me if I'm wrong about any of this type of things I say, because it's okay to be corrected. So I watched this one, and they go to this planet, Planet X, right? Him and one of the other astronauts, and they meet somebody there. So they get hooked up, and this guy that's in Planet X, people say, I'll give you medicine and all that stuff, but you got to help us bring back Godzilla and Mothra, right? That funny-looking worm guy, right back to the planet, so they can defeat Ghidorah, a three-headed monster. How we got that up there on that Planet X, I have no idea. Doesn't ring a bell. But anyway, so they get together and they bring on flying saucers, the flying saucers, they get Godzilla and Mothra, and they bring them to the planet and they battle a three-headed monster. Anyway, it's all plot because they plan on taking over the world, these guys from Planet X. It's not a very good movie. So it's not a very good movie. I don't know what else to say about it, but it's not one of those good ones. Anyway, that gets a 4 out of 10. The Godzilla versus the Monster Zero. So that's not good. Anyway, let's get on with it. Oh, Men in Black. Men in Black from 2012. Will Smith and Tommy Lee Jones. And Josh Brolin. Anyway, Will Smith has to go back in time to save the universe. So it's one of those movies. This movie's alright. It's not as good as the first and second one, but it's okay. It's not bad. So it has a few funny moments and stuff like that, as Men in Black movies, the other ones did too. There's some crazy looking aliens in this. So I give that a 6 out of 10. It's alright, but you're not missing anything if you don't want to watch it. And the other one is Fire with Fire, 2007. Bruce Willis and Josh Duhamel, or in Rosario, what's her name? Rosario? What's her name? Rosario. She's a good actress. Seen her in a few things. Rosario Dawson. Yeah, that's her name. Anyway, starts off with Firefighter, which is Josh Duhamel. He's in a variety store picking up some ice and drinks and stuff because they're going back to his place along with his firefighting buddies, right? So he's in the variety store, and these bad guys come in, right? And of course they shoot the owner and shoot the owner's kid and stuff like that. And he has to, they want him to testify, right, against the bad guy. The guy that shot these two people and stuff like that. So he says, yeah, he'll do it, but he gets put in protection, right, under protection, or he moves to another town, and they, so they try to hide who he is so he can, talk these guys, be a witness against these guys, right? So yeah, so that didn't turn out too well, right? So they're after him, they know where he is and all that kind of stuff. How that happened, I don't know, but it did. So now he's thinking, no, they're coming after him. So what does he turn around and do? What does he do? What can he do? So does he turn around, turn the tables on him and try to go back after the bad guys? Maybe. You have to watch it to find out. It's all right, not a bad movie. You can watch it. It's fun. It's a 7, just a 7 out of 10. It's all right. Till We Meet Again. What's her name? Merle Oberon? Is that how you say her name? And George Brent? Yes, 1940. 1940. So at the beginning of the movie, they're on board this. Well, they're not actually on board the ship. That's a little bit later. These two people meet in a bar in China. I think it's China. And they're having a drink and stuff. So anyway, this guy, what's his name? Now I forget his name. Anyway, George Brent's on the lam, right? From the, the cops are all going after him. Anyway, the police guy is finding him, or found him, takes him and puts him on board this ship, and they're supposed to be going to Honolulu, I think it is. And then they're going to go to San Francisco because he's being taken back to jail. So then he meets a young lady, right, Merle Oberon, and they actually fall in love. She doesn't know what he's all about, like she doesn't know that he's being taken back to jail. And he doesn't know that she's not doing well. She's a very sick person, young lady. So they, they'll hook up on the ship and kind of see each other all the time and have supper with each other and, talk to each other and enjoy each other's company. And you'll have to see the movie to find out what happens at the end, because I'm not going to tell you. No spoilers. I try not to do that. But I liked it. Merle Oberon is a very nice looking lady. This is 1940, so an oldie but a goodie. I give it an 8. It's a real good movie. If you haven't seen it, Till We Meet Again, watch it. If you come across it. And this is the one that put it in the player. This one right here. This is called Black Legion with Humphrey Bogart, Dick Foreman, and Aaron O'Brien Moore, Ann Sheridan, and a whole bunch of other people's character actors that you see in a lot of movies back then. So what year is this from? 1936, way back in 36. So Humphrey Bogart's working with a bunch of other guys in a tool machine place, right? And they're all there together, and this other gentleman is getting moved up, right? He's moving up, and somebody has to take the place of the foreman. So everybody's talking about it, and they all think that Humphrey Bogart's going to be the guy that takes the place of the guy that just left, right? So he's always talking about getting a new car, getting a vacuum cleaner, new clothes for his wife, stuff like that, right? Getting kind of excited. So what happens? He doesn't get the job. Some other guy gets the job, and the guy's last name is Dombrowski or something like that, right? So then he gets hooked up with a bunch of these other guys, right? And they actually wear these crazy looking outfits, right? They're all covered in blankets, or what do you call them? Hoods, with the Black Legion. So they pay attention, they go and, wreck Dombrowski's house and all that and tells them to get out of town. So Humphrey Bogart does get the job as the foreman. So one thing leads to another, and these guys are running around destroying other people's properties and stuff like that, right? And Humphrey Bogart, he joins up, and then he says, I don't want to do it anymore. And they tell him, you can't resign. So anyway, what happens in this? You're going to have to watch it. It's a very good movie. This one gets, what am I going to give this one? Humphrey Bogart. 1936, Humphrey Bogart was not exactly a big star. They said this movie came out and there's really nobody in it that were stars. So anyway, 1936, Humphrey Bogart, Black Legion. I give it a nice 7, high 7 out of 10. So you can watch this one. If you can find it, I recommend it. It's a good watch. 1999, over in England. Guy Ritchie. Lock, Stock, and Two Smoking Barrels. This movie's a riot. It's hilarious. It's got, what's his name, Jason Statham in it, before he was Kung Fu-ing everybody. I'm pretty sure. But anyway, this is 20 years ago. So yeah, there's a bunch of gangsters running around in, over there in England in East Side, right? So these guys decide to go play cards with this guy that has a card game every week, right? You got to have $100,000 to get, set at the table. So one thing leads to another, and this guy that has $100,000 loses. Of course, it was a setup, right? Right? So he loses all his money, and then he had a last, what was it? The last hand was like double or nothing, and if you lose, it's triple or some kind of thing like that. Anyway, he owes this guy like 250 grand. So now the movie starts, right? How are they going to get $250,000 to pay this gangster off? So everybody's killing everybody. They're running around. These guys are shooting these guys, and these guys are shooting these guys. It's a riot. It's funny. It's a funny movie. So there you go. Lock, Stock, and Two Smoking Barrels. A high 7 out of 10. And Sting's in it too. Bronson. Chuckles Bronson. He's in Death Wish 4, The Crackdown. Same old, right? He's living in, what is he at now? I don't know, I can't remember. San Francisco, same thing, right? And there's a bunch of drug dealers running around the neighborhood, right, killing everybody. And the drugs that they had kills his girlfriend's daughter. So he kind of looks into it and all this, right? And then there's this newspaper guy, take this out with a grain of salt, knows Chuckles, or who he is and stuff. So he wants Chuckles to go around wiping these guys out. So, I mean, it's not really, that's the way it is. You have to watch the movie to really find out the ending and what happens, right? But yeah, he goes around shooting people and, doing their regular thing and stuff like that. Now, none of these movies, Death Wish 2, Death Wish 3, or Death Wish, they kind of, Death Wish, the original movie, was original. It was really good. Really good movie at the time, right? At the time. And as you go by, right, Death Wish 2, it's not bad. Death Wish 3 is like, Death Wish 4 is another one of those, So, it's not bad, but if you're not really missing anything. Because if you've seen the other two or whatever, it's similar. He goes around shooting people. That's about it. So I give that a 6. I give it a 6. I don't recommend it to anyone, but if you want to watch it, go ahead. But it gets a 6 from me. So that's it. That's the movies I watched this week. So I'll probably watch some more this week and come back next Friday and tell you all about the movies I watched. It's a little cold there in Toronto, but at least it's not snowing. Rick's coming by tomorrow. It's going to be pizza day, and we're going to watch a couple of movies. So have a good weekend. I'll talk to you all next week in regards to movies I watched this week. Yeah, so keep watching those movies, people.